Okay, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the play Hard-Faced Woman. Okay, so it's based on the life of Selina Cooper and was produced by local touring theatre company Function Factory and staged, last time it was staged was 2015, 3 nights around Nelson Town Centre. The play was written after a year of research where details that were included in the play were things like Selina disliked the physical act of writing her speeches, so she would dictate her thoughts to her husband and jot down on little postcards to read at her rallies. Although no full copies of Selina's speeches appear to have survived, part of them have, and these have been incorporated into the script, combined with some words from Selina's friend and contemporary Keir Hardy, in order to add some meat to the bones of the arguments. So today we're just going to hear 2 short extracts performed by writer and actor Yvonne Pinnington. And so, friends and comrades, can you please give a big round of applause to Mrs. Selina Cooper.
It's good to see so many here. Sisters, brothers. There are faces I know, and some that I don't. Many friends, and I hope not too many enemies. I've spoken with some of you before about your working conditions, about your families. But what I would like to talk to you about today is something a little different, but equally important, which still affects your work and your families. Today, I would like to speak to you about women's suffrage.
Oh, I've heard it all before.
Are you not joining us, brother? Is your wife here? Your sister? Your mother? No? Oh. There is a feeling abroad that women shouldn't have a voice when it comes to politics. Their mission, people say, is to scrub floors. And I have taken many such an insult during this fight. I shall, however, continue to devote a portion of my time to the labour movement. And at the same time do the scrubbing of floors. It's the unions to whom we women should turn. It is the unions who influence the party candidates. Our own MP, David Shackleton, former secretary of the Darwin Weavers Association, a proud union man, until he got elected. And who got him elected? The unions. The Nelson and District Weavers Committee, one of our biggest unions, supported his candidacy. 60% of the members of that union are women. Yes, 3,515 women who pay their union dues. 3,515 women who pay their dues but don't get to say on who the union backs. 3,515 women whose union dues pay for political campaigns. 3,515 women who don't get a vote. I ask you, do you think that's fair? No. Or do you think we should just pay up, shut up, and get on with the scrubbing of floors?
No. Go on strike.
It is the unions who need to support the women of Nelson, the women of Britain, in the fight to get the vote. We have fought together before, man and woman, shoulder to shoulder, for better working conditions in our mills and our factories. We have fought together for the dignity of workers, for education for our children. And these battles still go on. But while women remain in the political wilderness, these battles will be difficult to win. Women do not want their political power to enable them to boast that they are on equal terms with the men. They want to use it for the same purposes as men, to get better conditions. Every woman in England is longing for a political freedom in order to make the lot of the worker pleasanter and to bring about reforms which are wanted. We do not want it as a mere plaything. We seek social justice, a fairer society for the working classes, and social justice seeks the vote for women. The longer I continue in this movement, the more pleased I am that I belong to the masses and not the classes. For they are the many and we are the few.
Okay, in 1913, Selina Cooper and Burnley mill worker and suffragist Margaret Aldersley were speaking at a suffrage rally in Haworth. Mrs. Aldersley went out first, and the men threw rotten eggs and tomatoes and all sorts of vegetables at her. She came back into the cafe where Selina was waiting and was in tears, being covered with all her eggs, tomatoes and other food. Selina's daughter Mary was also there and begged her mother not to go out and speak. But Selina wasn't to be deterred by a few men throwing agricultural waste.
I'm fine. No, sit down. No, I tell you, sit down. They don't frighten me. Sit down. No, they don't frighten me. Oh. Right then. I'm stopping here whatever you throw at me. So go and fetch whatever it is you brought to throw. I've come here to speak, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. And let me tell you this. Nobody'd have heard of this blooming village if it weren't for 3 women. Aye, the Brontes. You know, a man once said to me, well, I say a man, none other than my MP, David Shackleton, that women wouldn't even know what having a vote would mean. Or who to vote for. That women aren't taught economics in Sunday school, so how would they even begin to understand something like that? I said to him then, and I'm saying it to you now, show me a woman who can run a household on £2 a week and then tell me that women can't do economics. And I believe that the democracy of the future will be composed not of one class, but of the aristocracy of intellect and character of all classes. Now, I had thought my pioneering days were drawing to an end, but of late, I have felt with increasing intensity the injustice inflicted upon women by our present laws. Women today are classed with criminals and lunatics as being unfit to exercise the vote. I say that the qualification which men accept to vote should also apply to women. Now, some years ago, I took up the cause to assist in building a workers' party. A party which would recognise and fight for the rights of working people. Those that toil in the mills, in the factories, and yes, on the land. Ordinary working people like you and like me. You will hear some of these politicians talking about the deserving and the undeserving poor. I have yet to be given a plausible explanation of the differences between the two. And I tell you today, these differences do not exist. Nobody deserves to be poor. So as long as women are held, in the eyes of the law, to be inferior to men, they cannot expect the comradeship of the great labour movement which we all desire to see. Give women the vote, and let us all stand on equal terms, side by side, to fight, to struggle, to right the wrong. Thank you.
People will be joining us back again at 3 p.m. if you want to tell any friends and family, or you're still about. Thank you.
Yeah.